Those kids come here in the summer before summer died. Those kids come here in the summer before summer died.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect.
Have you searched the home and property around the residence, including the basement and around the residence and their property? Yes, more than once. This is the TBI, including the basement, crawl space, all vehicles, outbuildings, barrels, and all other items located on the property. Additionally, canine teams specializing in a variety of search methods have also been utilized. Have you searched phones and computers belonging to the Wells family? Yes. Working along with the Hawkins County Sheriff, the FBI, numerous subpoenas and search warrants have been obtained, resulting in any available digital evidence being collected, searched, and documented. This includes social media accounts. That's huge. Have you searched the waterways in the area? Yes. Dive teams were brought in to search bodies of water in the area. Have you conducted aerial searches? Yes, numerous searches from the air have been completed, especially during the first few weeks of summer, after summer went missing. Additionally, drones were used to map the area and to pinpoint bodies of water, as well as any other points of interest.
Circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance remain unclear. I understand the lack of answers frustrates you in the public, but trust me, no one is more frustrated than we are. If we develop information that will lead to locating Summer, we will share that with you first and foremost. In the meantime, we ask anyone with information who hasn't come forward to please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. I'll turn it over to Sheriff Ronnie Lawson.
Thank you. Just to go along with Leslie, I know there's a lot of social media going on out there, a lot of detectives going on, but they're absolutely useless unless these people that's 100% positive calls 1-800-TBI-FIND. That means nothing. We're monitoring all social media and everything that you all put out from people that you all interview. And I assure you, you'd have to work very hard to find somebody that we hadn't talked to. They may not tell you. What I did ask for, and I still need, is all the people in Upper Beach Creek, Hawkins and Sullivan County to search their property again and again. You got to look for a small child. You have to look for evidence of a small child's been. And if you got field cameras, if you got security cameras, we need you to check those again. Just keep checking them and checking them. We're trying to find every vehicle is in this holler they're living. If you have a resident that cannot search their property themselves, if they'll call my office at 423-272-4848, I will send an officer to your residence to search your property for you. It's a cooperation that we must need, and we're not done yet, because like I told you from day one, it's about finding Summer. That's the number one goal here.
Thank you, Sheriff. As of June 24th, 2021, search and rescue efforts for missing 5-year-old Summer Wells continues. We have now utilized 106 agencies spanning from Tennessee, Ohio, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and North Carolina assisting in these search operations. efforts. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups with numerous canine teams have been represented from each of these agencies. To date, we have covered over 4.6 square miles, with that being over 3,000 acres being searched since Tuesday night when she was reported missing. Search efforts will continue on a more specialized team basis throughout the rest of the week. Just because you may not see us in such a large presence, once again, rest assured, we are still out here searching for Summer Wales. We will continue to work with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI until we find Summer Wales. And I've been telling these searchers here the last several days, when you're looking for this property, you're not looking for an adult laying there. You're not looking for an adult hiding in the building. We're looking for a 5-year-old girl that weighed approximately 40 pounds. Somebody that size could wad up, could hide in an area that a legal size piece of paper or a folded up laptop could go. This is also the reason why we are exhausting all efforts. Tell me, Captain, I'll go to the end, but I'm tired. I'm physically and I'm mentally tired. We are all one team, and we will not quit until we find Summer Wales. Thank you.
Investigation. Do you believe Summer Wells is still alive?
We hope so, but honestly, we just don't know. I mean, we're holding out hope, doing everything we can. Obviously, we typically would have found a child at this stage in the investigation, so honestly, we just don't know.
How many tips has the TBI received so far?
I don't have the exact number with me, but it's well over 300 at this point.
I know we've only had Tuesday night.
We can't release any more than what we've already provided. We know that she was supposedly with family members outside of her home, was seen going into the home. When her mother went to check on her, she was not in the house. We follow up on all leads that come in, even if they're out of state. We have received some tips from other states, but they didn't prove to be credible.
Leslie, are cadaver dogs being used as part of the canine teams being brought in?
Absolutely, yes.
But on their role in this investigation, what do they do?
They're just another resource available. Now, I would refer you to the FBI for specifics on what that team does, but they specialize in missing children cases. And again, we're using all resources available. They've been here since last weekend, and we were in communication with them before last weekend. So it's just another resource, and we're grateful for any help we can get.
On day one, Tuesday night.
We still don't know where Summer is. We don't know what happened to her, and it's extremely frustrating. I can't tell you how heartbreaking it is. The sheriff has worked around the clock. His team's worked around the clock. The search crews, TBI agents, FBI agents, we're doing everything we can to find her, but to not have any more answers than we do at this stage, it's just heartbreaking. We know that her family reported her missing. They called the sheriff's office around 6:30. Prior to that, it was early afternoon when she was last seen, and they searched for a little bit and then reported her missing.
From here on out, it is going to be providing our team the rest and assurance to make sure that we can provide more and more fresh-bodied, fresh eyes to be able to come in and help search for Summer Wales.
As far as my office, it's been pretty hard because my office don't stop. We're still answering calls, still doing investigations that come in, and we're still running the jail, but I'm alternating the officers out. But we're not going to stop. We're going to find some.
I know a couple of you had questions asking why we are not having daily media briefings. The simple answer is we just haven't had any new information to provide. But just because we don't have a briefing doesn't mean that you can't reach out to us and ask any questions you may have. And of course, we are going to continue to post updates on Twitter and the TBI Facebook page. And feel free to check with us if you have any additional questions or need clarification. Thank you. Take care.
Sure. After the initial search and as we developed more information as part of the investigation, our team made the decision to elevate the alert to an amber.
And what's the difference between those two?
An endangered child alert is a mid-level alert where a child could potentially be in danger. An amber alert is, we issue those when we believe a child is in imminent danger of bodily harm or death, and it's the most severe alert. Search, we acted and the Sheriff's Office acted on the information available at the time, and as we learned more in the first several hours into today, it led us to issue an amber alert.
Well, when the amber alert was issued, you said there was new information that led you to believe that Summer might be in more danger. Can you expand on that a little bit?
I can't, that's part of the investigation.
If they see something or know something, they need to tell somebody. That's the biggest thing. A lot of people don't want to get involved. They want.
A lot of people don't want to get involved because of you, Ronnie.
Reply to us, respond, and honestly, that's fine. As long as we find Summer, that's the main thing right now. And we're talking about the Amber Alert. When they raise that up another level, that helps more people paying more attention. You get more clues, you get more calls, and then everybody can call that 1-800-TBI find. It all goes into a database, which helps us in an area where we don't have a lot of communication. In case stems outside of Hawkins County, then you have the TBI to help with that. But if it expands on out past the state of Tennessee, then you got the FBI. So we're all on the same page, and we just keep on going. We're just working together as a team. All have the same goal. Let's find Summer. But if they seen something yesterday evening or afternoon that we need to know, that's when they need to make the call or come by the command post.
Kind of landmarks and sort of an area you're sort of
Just around Ben Hill Road in that area. That's the main, because she's 5 years old and she left the house, and evidently she got a little farther than they expected.
Nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever. Nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around. Ever.
And that's her little swing right there off that tree. She loved to play right there in that yard. That was her favorite spot to be. So whoever took her had to actually come up into the yard and take her. And I don't understand because, like, my neighbor heard her scream, but I didn't hear her scream because I was in the house with the boys trying to find her. And I guess when my neighbor heard her scream, I was actually in the house and the TV was going. So I didn't.
David Dotson said that Candace showed him a video of swimming that day and the boys were there and they said, did she say it was from that day? And he said yes.
But I remember, the only thing that I can remember, it was thinking, well, I might as well just work late because they're busy doing other things and there's no point in me going home because I don't want to go home and sit there by myself. So.
And Josie.
So the boys.
And Josie. Wyatt. And Josie.
So the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Okay, went to work with Dawn.
That's what I was told, yes.
Okay.
I figured I'd just work late that day. And that's, yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name. And yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name. And so I think, I don't know, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I've known him for years, and he's always been really good to us, real friendly.
But I absolutely did hear a certain point there when it was screaming at them, what did you do? What did you do? And it was one of the points that day looking for something I knew stuff had become dire. This was not, she's missing. This is something that, it was said. I know it was. I do not doubt. It was loud and clear as a and they reply back, nothing, mama, I swear. So what's the problem now? Why tell somebody I'm a liar? Didn't tell me that to my face all these months. Didn't have a problem with that for all these months. Now all of a sudden we don't want that out. Don't want it known to be truth. Why is that? It makes somebody seem guilty, even if you're not. And I get it, and I've told y'all you must stop fucking lying. Told y'all. I mean, even if you ain't done nothing, stop lying, because it just makes you look like garbage. Just for once, lay those masks down. Yeah, we look like crap, but help us find our daughter. Quit trying to make you look better over. That would be the most helpful thing.
Very beautiful. Very beautiful. You know, what's strange is she looks like my sister. She looks so much like my sister. That one picture of her where she's in my, I had an old 83 Ford black truck. Me and her, I always took her to the store. Like if we went to the store for something, you know, I'd say, Summer, you want to go? She's like, yeah, let's go. But she eats some chocolate. She has that dirty face, so she gives that little funny little look, you know. And you've probably seen that picture, but she looks just like my sister. It's so weird. She looks just like my real sister, Sonia.
Did you have anything to do with Summer's disappearance?
No, sir. Sir.
Did you have anything to do with Summer's disappearance?
No, sir. You have any idea where she might be? I wish to God I did. If I did, we'd go get her. I'd call TBI or whatever and say, look, I did this, I did that, I messed up. Can we please go get her now? I'd call TBI or whatever and say, look, I did this, I did that, I messed up. Can we please go get her now? I would have done that a long time. I would have done.
So, yes or no to the question?
Okay. Oh. Well, I mean, no.
Summer, your daughter, when's her birthday?
Summer's birthday, baby. What?
I'd climb every mountain.
What is Summer's birthday?
I'd climb every mountain.
You don't know?
Yes, we don't know.
You're telling me that you and your wife Candace does not know when your daughter's birthday is? You just did. Don, you just asked Candace.
Said, when's Summer's birthday?
Yeah, when is Summer's birthday? When was she born?
Yeah, when is her birthday?
You tell me, she's your daughter.
I don't even know my own birthday.
That's a problem.
Why is that a problem? Starlink, and my buddy named Starlink, and yeah, Starlink. Please don't break the door. Please don't break the door.
I asked you a question.
What?
And you asked, okay, Starling.
I was talking to her. What?
Stop lying.
She asked me, what? What's your question? What? I'm listening. Come on, man. What?
Well, that real itches. I asked you something.
I'm pretty sure show your ass live on I'm live. Stop it. It's fucking live, you dumbass.
No, sir.
It is.
No, it isn't. Okay, whatever. Play your little game, Donnie.
Alright, I'm gonna have to go. She don't think we're live and shit, okay? And she's fucking going off and acting like an alcoholic. I have to get off here now.
That's fine.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
y'all.
much for talking to us.
Dad, I'll talk to you later.
Alright, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Candace.
Looks like you're next later.
It's fucking like you dumb bitch. You are stupid, man.
I just discussed my bad. That's all I asked.
So he's still live and he's still talking.
Oh, they just seen that. You're a dumbass. They just seen you punch me in my throat. You're a dumbass. You're a real dumbass. You're a real dumb fucking ass. They just seen me throw me in the punch. You know? You're a dumbass.
Well, we let him take the boys to the putt-putt golf course when all this first happened.
Right. Yeah.
You know, just to try to help us out.
How long have you known him?
Well, he come from another church, and he just kind of popped in and got to know Summer a little bit before she got gone, and then he met some girl in some Baptist church and started going, I guess, to church with them.
So he would come over and hang out with her and play with her and stuff?
Well, no, not until after she disappeared.
Oh, so she didn't know him very well before that?
Well, she met him a few times. Summer did, and Candace did.
So he would come over and hang out with her and play with her and stuff?
Well, no, not until after she disappeared.
Oh. So she didn't know him very well before that?
Well, she met him a few times. Summer did, and Candace did. I mean, when we started getting involved in the Seventh-day Adventist, you know, Robin and stuff would invite him to go do this and that.
Who's Robin?
She's the one that would hold Summer in church all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So they was always going and doing things with the church whenever possible.
Yeah, other people from the church come over and help?
Yeah, David's been over a few times, our pastor, and David Dotson's been over a couple times.
Does Dave ever babysit or anything?
No, nothing like that.
No.
Well, we let him take the boys to the putt-putt golf course when all this first happened.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, just to try to help us out and stuff.
Hey, this is David Dotson, and he's going to play his Native American flute for us.
Wonderful special things going on today. David Dodson, will you come forward, please?
I was born, raised an independent Baptist, and
Come across, and he used to pastor a church down in Texas, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I've actually called my church members back home and have apologized. I said I've taught you wrong. And
Wow. This is your church family, David, right? We love you. We thank you that he wants to be a part of our church family. We praise you.
Hold of Robin for her. We were able to get a hold of Robin, and Robin and myself, we made our way out to their home. I'd never been out to their home before. I'd
never been out to their home before. I
had to get the address from them.
So they let us go up after that. Now, David had already been up there before I had, and I don't know the details about when or how, but I know that he was there before I got there and had already talked to the family. Okay. And by the time I got there, they had not allowed us to go back up there.
yesterday, took them to the putt-putt golf course here in Kingsport, and just to try to let them have a peaceful day away from the search and rescue teams going on. I can't imagine what they're going through, and they're just parents that they want their daughter back, and you have these 3 young boys, and they want their younger sister back.
Dotson says he has a nightly ritual praying for Summer's return.
I set out at night as the sun sets, and I play a song for Summer.
She loved to dance.
She liked to think of herself as a princess, and and all that, like all young girls do. And
she loved Frozen. She loved to be that Elsa and.
Beautiful spirit, fun, loving, forgiving. I remember one time I took her to a job site, and it was actually a really nice log cabin home, and I wasn't thinking about the railing not being completely finished outside, and she run outside. My wife brought lunch out there and stuff like that, and we was eating, and she run outside, and she turned around, and there wasn't no railing there to catch her, and so she fell off about the 3rd or 4th step and hit the ground.
she was crying. She says, "Daddy, why didn't you save me?" I said, "I'm sorry, Summer. I'm sorry. I didn't know." And she says, "That's okay, Daddy." That's what kind of spirit she is.
The love of our life. She's what made our world go around. I'm scared that somebody's hurting her, and there's nothing I can do about it. It smothers me.
Personally, I think someone come up here and grabbed her and ran down the hill.
I think so,
and
too.
threw her in a car and drove as far away as they could from this area.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing. I feel in my heart that somebody has came up here and took her, has lured her away from here.
Probably sexually, maybe probably killed her. Let's be realistic. This ain't gonna be good. And because of all the pressure, YouTube and the TV shows and everything else, they probably wanted to get rid of me. Never got something about killed her. I mean, let's be realistic.
But what I was told was at the last place they seen someone was at the swing set. Take the location seriously. Pretty well firm on theirs, as opposed to Candace, who doesn't, and it's so vague with her that, and the one part that felt different when I was talking to her, to where I just was like, whatever, she didn't have eyes on her at all or something.
I know she didn't walk away from this property by herself or off this yard by her swing.
I don't know. I'm always at work. I'm glad she got to go to all these places with her daughter. For the first 2 years, 18 months or so, Summer, when she was born, she didn't want her mother. She only wanted me. And Candace coerced her all these years by taking her to all these places, fishing and stuff. And it took all this time to get, but Summer loved her mother. It took time. And I don't know why she was just so attached to me like that. I've never had anything like that happen to me before. And I was just so thankful, I thank God, So I've never had anybody love me like that.
Where she said that you were kind of spun out and, that your kids got with somebody else and, she didn't know about it and she went and got them.
I don't know anything about that. I have no idea. I never heard that, anything like that.
He checked out of the house for a little bit, okay? Is that even true?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
He did.
The second rumor was, you kind of coached him back into the environment. Is that true?
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I prayed. Is that coaching?
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Good one. Okay. So...
I wouldn't have been ashamed if I did.
Well, I know. Well, yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
As a good Christian.
Yeah, sister in Christ. Get on back home.
To help.
Right, but if I did that right, what if I walked out there with her? What if I did this? What if I did that? I walked out there with her.
What if I walked out there with her? What if I did this? What if I did that? I walked out there with her.
All the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV.
And I watched her walk in there, and afterwards, when she was already in there, I walked over and said, "Quiet," and he looked at me and I said, "Watch Sissy, I'll be right back." And that's when I walked back over to my mom's.
Okay.
And I was fixing her brace and stuff like that, and I said, "Well, Mom, I gotta go back over with the kids." And that's when I come back up into the house.
And I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, "She went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom." I said, "Okay."
Went over here like this, so this is where the stairs are.
Okay.
It's actually down under there.
Oh, down into her bedroom.
Our bedroom, and then hers is on the other side.
Oh, okay, in the basement.
Yeah, in the basement.
And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times.
I said, Summer, and she didn't. I listened for a minute, I didn't hear nothing.
Which was unusual, because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
What if this, what if that,
Yeah.
What if I did this right, what if I did that right, what if I walked out there with her, what if I did this, what if I did that?
What if I walked out there with her? What if I did this? What if I did that?
Me and my mother and her were planting flowers. And we went in after we got done washing our hands, and she got a piece of candy from Grandma, and she wanted to go back over and see her brothers. And I said, okay, and I walked her all the way over to the porch, and I watched her walk into the kitchen where the boys were watching TV. And I told the boys, I said, watch Summer, I'll be back. And within 2 minutes I came back, and I asked the boys where their sister was, and they said, she went downstairs, Mom, to play with her toys in the playroom.
But what I was told was the last place they seen Summer was at the swing set.
I said, okay. And I yelled downstairs for her a couple times, and I didn't get no answer, which was unusual because usually she always answers me. And so I went down there to check, and she was nowhere in sight. She was just gone.
My knee, I have a knee replacement, and she was worried that there was something wrong with it. And she took me into the hospital. And I ended up getting a shot for it to get rid of the pain. And they prescribed me medication to take to get the swelling down out of my knee. Then we waited around for my prescription. Summer went swimming that day at the horse stables, I believe it was. And then we come back, and I went in my camper, and after we brought my groceries in for me, and the boys helped with that, and of course Summer. And I laid down and went to sleep, and I got up and I was sitting in my doorway, and we come out and Candace asked me what I was doing. I said, well, we got to transplant these little cactuses into bigger pots. And we did that, and then Summer come in and had a piece of peppermint, which is her favorite, and then she went in. She said, Mama, I want to go play with the boys. Candy walked her back to the house, and she asked the boys to keep an eye on her, and that's the last time I seen her.
Hell no. I won't drink again. Because them boys in my summer is the love of my life. I will never drink or do anything against them ever again. I mean, I don't.
You on which direction and
Everything's slow motion now.
I know.
Well, at some point, Allie and Hunter and they'll find out that Summer's gone. They completely flip on us, on Candace. You know, and I don't understand that.
Did you talk to them directly?
No, they won't talk to me. They won't talk to Candace.
And you're kind of on the beach there or on the shoreline there.
You see, there's a little like tree there or a log.
Yeah.
She went like as far as that, but not no farther. I just seen that she was underwater for like 10, 15 seconds. So I was like, "Are you okay?" And I pulled up. She said, "Yeah, I'm just swimming underwater."
Okay, so you see a point where Summer is underwater
for like 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay, walk me through that.
So I'll go in calm as heck because I know she might just be messing around.
Did you think she was injured?
No,
Could she have been?
She could have been. I mean,
okay, so let's go from the moment you see her, and what did you do?
I just throw my shirt down and just throw myself into that water to see if she's okay.
Okay, so you got scared.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, walk me through those emotions.
I was just like, I don't really get scared or nothing, to be honest. I just get a little bit like spooked.
Got it. She got nervous.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
And did you call her?
Yeah, I was like, Summer, but I don't know if you can hear underwater like that.
So can you see her underwater?
No, yeah, you can see her. I can see her. It's just that I was wanting to make sure that she was okay.
Got it, straight up. And what happened?
I just pull her up, bring her over my shoulders. I say, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah."
Did she spit up water or anything?
She did spit up water.
Was she laughing?
She was just laughing. Yeah.
So, in that moment where she's in the water, how much time do you think, just a guesstimate, between the moment you saw her underwater and the moment you got her up out of the water?
At least like 4 seconds.
Okay, 4 or 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So, what was Candace doing when Summer was under the water?
Talking to her mom.
And what was the grandma doing?
Talking back, looking for flowers.
Right. So, you're watching her. She's underwater or goes underwater. Did you see her go underwater?
No, I didn't see her go underwater because she was showing me a TikTok that she done with the dogs and the dirt bikes.
Got it. Candace was.
Yeah.
So your focus was on the TikTok.
For a second there, but then when I turned my eye that way, I just seen that. I don't know how long she could have been under there for, but I just seen her under the water and I didn't see her come back up. So kind of shook me. So I was gonna go see if she was okay.
So you went in.
Yeah.
Okay. You went in to rescue her.
It could have been longer. It could have been shorter. She could have just went under there at that point. Like,
Right.
I don't know.
So you went in to rescue her.
See if she was okay. Yeah.
And did you get her out?
Yeah, I got her out.
Okay.
And then not even like 15 minutes later, we went to grab that prescription that she needed.
Okay. How was she when she got out? Did she walk back to the car?
Yeah, she would walk back to the car.
She seemed normal?
She just seemed perfectly fine.
Okay. She seemed like Summer?
Yeah.
Did it seem like there was anything wrong with her being under that water?
Not really, but you gotta think as a little kid swimming, it can tire you out easily.
True.
So I don't know if she could have been sleeping when they dropped me off because I thought she was awake.
Okay. And so she's on the other side or in the middle?
She's in the middle.
Okay.
Like against the milk. Gallons of milk. Yep, against the 2 gallons of milk.
Okay. What did Hunter say? Because he was sitting next to her.
Hunter said she was alive.
Okay.
That they were watching TikTok videos.
Oh, interesting.
She was giggling, watching TikToks and everything, and he said she fell asleep because she was tired.
Hunter gets out. He tells you what?
He really didn't say nothing. He didn't really say nothing. They went in the house.
Okay. Then what happened?
I asked him how fishing went. He goes, we went swimming. Oh, okay. You know, I asked him how it was. He goes, fine. He didn't tell me anything about what happened. Nothing. Nothing.
What did Hunter say he said?
He goes, I just told him everything we did that day.
And what was her response?
Oh, okay.
What was she?
Tell him that, did you? And then she said to him, you didn't tell him that, did you?
About what?
To this day, we really don't know. I really don't know to this day, but
he said it was pertaining to do with the alcohol and the puff bars.
So let's go back to the trucks here. Summer's on the other side with the milk. Hunter gets out. You ask Hunter, or you talk to Candace about wanting to talk to Summer.
Yep.
What happens?
She said no. I wasn't allowed to wake her up.
Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So she's sleeping?
To me, she appeared sleeping.
Okay. Did it look like to you she was sleeping?
At the time, yes.
Okay.
But now that I look back on it, I really don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now that I look back on it, it's like, was she really alive? Was she sleeping?
Right.
Yeah, I believe she was alive here.
Okay.
She was one of my little princesses.
She's a cutie pie.
She was. Still is. Summer was his pride and joy out of all those kids. That was his baby girl. That was his angel. He loved Summer to death.
Yeah.
That was his pride and joy.
Yeah.
That was his pride and joy.
Is she still around?
And those kids meant the world to me. Little Summer still does. Even the boys. It just kills me that she's gone. And, you know, sucks.
Candace was dirty.
And she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so they could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and they said everything was okay. I said, no, I wasn't there, of course. But according to my wife's story, which I believe.
There's three people that that was in possession of her, watching over her, that knows what the hell happened, and possibly the third. You have to stem from that. They were there. They're their guardian. That's their her guardian. Something had to have that they know happened to this little girl, because, like I said, getting off of that property, it's tough. I mean, it's very tough, and not to be around and found that same night or within 24 hours. My question is did she even make it home?
Right.
That's been my biggest thing, is did she really make it home?
Yeah.
I don't know. Will she be found? Only if somebody comes forward. That's the only way.
Dance. She would always want me. She says, "Daddy, hold my hand so I can twirl," and she would just like to twirl and twirl and twirl until my arm got tired.
Love to play in the mud and the water and swing on her swing and enjoy dirt.
His officials are looking for the driver of a vehicle very similar to this, a 1998 to 2000 model maroon or red Toyota Tacoma. In addition, it has a full bed ladder rack with white buckets in the truck bed. They were seen near Beach Creek Road and Ben Hill Road on Monday, June the 14th or Tuesday, June the 15th. TBI stresses that the person in this is not a suspect at this time. They simply believe that they could be a witness and want to ask them questions to see if they saw or heard anything when 5-year-old Summerwells went missing around 6 o'clock Tuesday, June the 15th.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently. But I wish they would come forward and explain themselves. And if you're not a suspect, at least come forward and say what you've seen.
I have no idea. Somebody said that they seen it parked in our driveway when Summer got gone. So it's just an eyewitness account.
Now,
But that
at the bottom of the hill or the top of the hill?
in our driveway at the bottom.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in our driveway, at the bottom. Somebody's seen it, supposedly. But that's all it is just an eyewitness account or whatever. And they've never found this truck. But it could have been the one where his dad works. They might have took that truck over there in prison as out on parole. And I mentioned all that to him. And supposedly searched all them. But he probably, he could have, I don't know. When you got them kind of connections and you hang around with druggies, and they're into all these,
criminal activities, you know, you can basically make a lot of stuff happen if you want to, if you wanted to.
Right.
And stealing somebody's little girl is probably not too far-fetched.
And then, of course, somebody said they spotted a truck parked here somewhere. We don't know. I didn't see it. That's just what somebody said. But so hopefully that helps y'all.
I have no idea. Somebody said that they seen it parked in our driveway when Summer got gone. So it's just an eyewitness account.
Now,
but that
at the bottom of the hill or the top of the hill?
In our driveway at the bottom.
When I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to pull start his four-wheel.
When I was leaving for work that morning, there was a guy at the bottom of my driveway wanting me to pull start his four-wheeler.
And then the police showed up, and he asked if I could go ahead and pull it over to his truck. So, and the policeman said, "Yeah, Mr. Wells, just pull it over there," you know. And so I did. And when we got there, I seen the truck on the bank of the ditch there, high centered, and I asked the officers, "Can I take some pictures?" He said, "No problem, Mr. Wells, go ahead." And he started asking him for paperwork. And when I went to the side of the truck to take a picture, there was some woman stuck her head out. There was a woman in that truck, and she looked like she ain't combed her hair for like 2 months. I don't know, but she just laid back down in there and covered up. But
So the police were there June 15th, early in the morning then?
yeah. Yeah, they just showed up because somebody else had called the law.
Jose. Oh, Jose was your ex-boyfriend. I did
Well,
not know
see,
that.
he came up with Hunter's father, so they were all going to stay up to Candace's.
And me and him, we started clicking and
And they got together. Wait a minute, and they got together.
we got together, so Candace was drunk and jealous and started being all over him, and I'm like, you know what?
No, you and her had an argument.
Yes.
Yeah. You come home, and His Royal Highness stayed up there with your kids.
Yes.
And
She
we had to
bring
get the sheriff.
Yeah, I had to call the sheriff's department to go up there and get my kids because that morning she threatened to blow my head off.
That he would use once in a while when he had to go long distances. They had a ladder rack on it, you know. But those were like the long distance trips, you know. Like it would take him an hour or two just to get there, and it wasn't something that was an everyday job. It was like a call up. I need to go there and do this real quick, and then come back. And he would drive the pickup truck. He drove that red one.
He drove a little red truck.
A little red pickup truck, and it had a ladder on it. And I remember one time they had a ladder on it that I argued with him because. No, I don't believe it was his truck. I think it was maybe the truck from his boss or, you know, something he borrowed from someone that he could use right away and then bring back, you know.
Everyone in Summer's case is still a suspect.
fuck out of her, probably killed her. Let's be realistic. This ain't gonna be good. And because of all the pressure, YouTube and the TV shows and everything else, they probably wanted to get rid of the evidence and they probably killed her. I mean, let's be realistic.
We were kind of hyper alert because of property things that had happened the day before. So we were listening for noise. Everything was kind of quiet.
The sale brought a plethora of people to their door, confused about which piece of land was for sale, leading to a dispute of property lines.
While we were out at one point doing survey lines, and there was a flash of a car that went up Candace and Donnie's driveway, something about it struck me wrong.
She and her family next heard a truck door slamming and dismissed it as their neighbors. The next sound was harder to justify. About an hour and a half before Summer is thought to go missing, Jody Sue, her son, and her daughter heard something far more suspicious. A scream.
It stopped all three of us cold.
Her daughter was the first to go to the cabin door. Then all three were there, listening still.
We heard just this kind of shrill, almost animalistic scream.
Animalistic, but not an animal.
Knew it was, wrong. It wasn't a dog, it wasn't an animal.
That vigilance kicking into overdrive. Jody Sue and her son went out to look for the source of the scream.
My son and I decided to go out, look and see what we could see. We went back onto the bank, didn't see anything, didn't hear anything.
They went on with their evening. The kids returned to being kids. Jody Sue headed down her driveway around 6 to tend to flowers.
And at this point, I start hearing Candace hollering for Summer. And then my brain immediately went, scream earlier, this, uh-oh.
Jody Sue was the first to hear those calls and the first to join the search for Summer.
I dropped my purse. I tried to yell up at Candace. I was like, I'm looking, and I started looking.
Jody Sue searched one side of a creek, Summer's brothers the opposite side.
And
you gave statements to the police, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Jody Sue had been interviewed many times by investigators, bringing up the scream often. But the sheriff doesn't believe the scream is related to the disappearance of Summer Wells.
She's been interviewed numerous times by not only my agency, but the TBI and the FBI, and we don't find anything with that complaint or information related to this case.
Now, authorities are looking for the driver of a red Toyota Tacoma that was in the area around the time Summer went missing, and stressing that this person is a potential witness.
Statewide Amber Alert. She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road.
She was last seen outside of her home in the 100 block of Ben Hill Road,
which is located in the Beach Creek community of Hawkins County. A family member reported her missing to the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at approximately 6:30 Tuesday evening. At the time she went missing, Summer was reportedly wearing a gray pants and a pink shirt. She is believed to be barefoot. We do want to encourage the public, especially residents living in the area of Ben Hill Road, to check any trail cameras or security cameras that they might have that could have captured Summer on video or in on video or in photographs. We also encourage residents to check any crawl spaces, outbuildings, or sheds that would make for good hiding places. As we mentioned, the search is ongoing. There are a number of agents.
Candace come pulling in the driveway. I run out to the truck to get Summer, and I forgot for a minute that she wasn't with us any longer. So that was really depressing,
Yeah, up to work, yes.
Okay. How far away do you work from?
Well, it depends. I might do a house in West Virginia somewhere.
Oh, gotcha.
Or it might be anywhere. My next house is coming up on Boone's Creek up here.
When the incident with Summer happened, when Summer disappeared, where were you working that day?
Let's see, I was in Jonesboro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonesboro, which?
Yeah, Jonesboro.
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know this area very well.
Yeah.
How far away is that from home?
Well, it takes 45 minutes to get from there to my house.
Okay.
And so up 81 all the way, and that's where I was working. And previous to the day someone come up missing, I fired the guy because He was extremely out there. And what was he? He's talked, I guess pretty well, but.
Something about the boys saying, where y'all going? We're carrying Summer out the house, down to Candace. She was head down on his shoulder, carried her out and left. He even said if anything was ever going to happen, it was going to be on Candace's watch.
So he knew. He knew that she was.
My wife and I talked about that, and I really believe, I don't know what my wife thinks, but I really believe that Summer got hurt, and fell and killed herself. That was a dangerous house. And for her to have to say she came out and screamed, why did you scream? What did you see that you had to scream?
So you believe Jody Sue when she said she heard that scream?
Yeah, I do. I believe that she saw her daughter dead, and it was an accident. He told me we had to work till 9 o'clock because he had child care services coming to his house.
That's crazy, right?
And I'm like, why do you have child care services coming to your house?
Yeah.
And he said he couldn't be there, so I was already like, okay, what kind of shit am I in now? The problem is Don Wells and Candace Wells knows what happened to Summer Wells. So I personally believe the accident happened on Monday or possibly Sunday night or Monday. Because that's the day I saw him went to work, and when I seen him, I've never seen Don this way before. He had this look on his face like something really bad happened.
So she went missing on that 15th when you say the Monday.
That's the 14th. The 4th is the day I got fired that evening. That's the day he said, he was talking about having everybody at the job and stuff. Tuesday, the day Summer come missing, I believe is what I heard. Richard Tucker and all of them. But that was Monday, not Tuesday. So to me, I'm like, why is he lying about the date? He was supposed to go to work Sunday. He didn't show up. I worked Saturday. And Monday I go in and he's sitting on a tub, like head down and just distraught. And I'm like, this ain't good. At the job site.
What job site was that?
Subdivision, and it was right behind the BP gas station. Gotta be like Fall Branch or no one Bluff City. It was close at Jonesboro. I believe it was Jonesboro. Okay. Yep, that's what it was, Jonesboro. That was, but he didn't say I was there. See, he's saying that was on Tuesday. That's what I heard, but that was on Monday. That's the day I got fired. They were all there.
Did Don fire you or Richard Tucker fire you?
Don fired me. She drove in a Subaru. Yeah, I believe it got impounded. They took it away.
Oh, they did?
5 months or something behind. I don't know. The day he fired me, he was driving with tools in it, and everybody's making fun of him like, Don, why are you drove your wife's car to work?
Now with that
Gotcha.
I just thought it was odd because I've never seen it. I worked with him for 2 months. So move me away from Don. The dude's crazy. There's something wrong with him. They didn't listen to me. Instead, they set me up for a kill.
They didn't listen to me. Instead, they set me up for a kill. They didn't listen to me. Instead, they set me up for a kill.
Yes.
He has?
Yeah, he brought him to the chocolate factory job. That was the first one he was there, and he was smoking weed with him in the house.
Smoking weed with the boys?
Smoking weed with his son. Yeah, he has
Which
one
son?
The oldest.
The oldest one?
Yeah.
Josie?
Josie. Yeah. Professional. And to do it with your kid, 11 years old? Come on.
We've heard the same thing.
I've had Candace run out the door telling me, did I ever tell you I hate fucking kids? I looked at Don and said, is she talking to me?
Candace?
Mostly brand new houses, but we did a couple that had, like the one in Churchill he sent me to. That was a piece of a garage that he forgot about. They're the ones that said you think she possibly could have been buried in a house or something. I said, you know what? I said they had a lot of holes around that last job we did. I said that they had to put concrete footers in. I said, and the holes were there, but the concrete wasn't. That is a house on top.
And what location was that at?
Rock Springs.
Rock
exit
Springs.
6.
I'm sorry?
Edinburgh. Rock Springs, exit 6 on Edinburgh.
Do you know the address or road name or anything?
I just know how to get there.
Yeah, just go down there.
It's literally, the Edinburgh is the subdivision with the school that's built on it. But if you were to drive around, it starts with a C, Common or something street, turn right on it, and go down all the way to the end, take a left, and you'll see the brand new houses. The very house in the corner, that's on the right side of the corner, that's the last one me and Don did together. And all them houses to the left of that, to the right of that house, wasn't even there.
When it's dark?
It works crazy hours.
What this man's doing, you know, what he's got to say about Ray and this and that.
Jonesboro, Rock Springs. I mean, I seen her in June.
In June.
Hell, when they got in that little car wreck, they were doing a video chat.
Car wreck?
Yeah, at the dollar store, I think it was, when Grambo had to get hospitalized.
What month was that?
Huh?
What month was that?
June.
June of last year.
Backing up and somebody hit her, and I mean, put a little bitty bump, but Grambo had to get ambulance to the hospital. So she was trying to get some pain pills, they said. Don was making a big joke about it, but I talked to someone right there, and Don gave the phone and said, "Here, talk to Dudley." And I asked her what happened. She said, "Oh, we got in a car wreck. They hit Grandma." He talked about meth every day.
Every day.
Every day he talked about meth. And I said, "Jesse," I said, "Where's Don?" He said, "He's skimming the house." I said, "He's skimming the house when his daughter's missing?" I said, "There's something wrong with that." That's in Jonesboro, though. Jonesboro.
So he was at that location the day Summer was reported missing?
Yeah.
Was the boys
That's
with him?
what Jesse said.
You don't
I
know if
just didn't understand why he was going to work when his daughter's missing. That's what I didn't get.
I mean, the day after Summer had come up missing, he called my boss and he was crying and saying some really oddball things. My boss has a really good memory, so he remembered every word of it. And,
like what was he saying?
Like, my kids, let's see, the hills have eyes. I got too close to that family. What was the others? I got too close, and my kids can't see me in the back of a police car again. Well, yeah, I had him come to my house and park his vehicle so that we could ride together all the way out past Chucky, way out there somewhere, past the airport, way out there in the farmlands. Way out there, yeah. So we rode together way out there and done a little house and rode back, but I just noticed he started getting irritated and just every little thing, this way.
Like I said, I think that they should really get somebody who's really good that specializes in extracting DNA from anything and everything and really check those necklaces that appeared a month and a half ago out of nowhere. Because Candace did state that Summer will always be close to her heart, and then all of a sudden she has a urn necklace around her neck. It's a little weird.
I love snuggles.
So you're
I love to
you're
snuggle.
a snuggler, huh?
I'm a snuggler.
Okay.
So I'm not getting as much love, and so summer comes and she wants to, just kind of love on me, and I just, it was a good connection. She just wanted extra love and attention. And I think she just needed some extra love, and I think that she did, and she just found that in me.
Okay.
Yeah, just the desire to love and be loved. It's just, I'm a real simple person. I just like to be snuggled and loved, and she did too.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking was the connection. That, and I just love children in general.
Right.
I do. And if a little child wants to hug on me, bring it on. I'm all about it, she seems to be very hyperactive at times and doesn't always respond to whenever you're talking to her. Sometimes she doesn't really want to do what you're asking her to do, sometimes a little challenging, but it's not abnormal or anything like that. Okay, so I was...
Walk me through that.
Okay, so I was taking pictures at my little girl's dance recital. It wasn't actually the recital, it was the practice for the dance recital, and we had a big backdrop, and I had my fancy camera. And I saw my phone, bzz, 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 and it was Candace, and she was calling me on FaceTime. And of course I couldn't answer because I was taking pictures.
What time was it?
Well, dance class starts at 6, so it was probably around 6:30 or 7, I would imagine.
Okay.
I didn't look at the time, but I guess...
Had you seen her any earlier that day, Candace?
No, hadn't seen her talk to her.
Okay, so that was the first contact that day.
That was the first contact, yeah.
Okay, what happened?
And she called me maybe 5 times on FaceTime, and I didn't answer to any of them until class was over, and I'm cleaning up my all camera equipment, putting away the backdrops and everything, and I get a call from a friend of mine, David Dotson. I get a call from him, and he said, Candace has been trying to call you. And I said, I know, I saw it, I wasn't able to answer, what's up? He goes, Summer's missing. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't realize at that moment how huge that was, but I was like, oh wow, that's bad. I'll call her. So actually, I don't even think I had to call her. I think she interrupted that call and she called me, and she got on my FaceTime screen. I've got my little girl in the back seat, and she's like freaking out on my screen there, saying Summer's gone, and I called the police, and I don't know what to do. And I said, Candace, I'll be right there. I'm coming. But I said, first I gotta get my little girl home. I gotta get my husband to put her to bed, and I'll be right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I go home, and I get a bag, and I put flashlights and snacks and all the stuff in there, thinking I'm gonna be up all night looking for this little girl. And I don't think I even got to the house until probably 9 o'clock because I had to do some other things before I could leave. So I think I got there around 9, and they wouldn't let us in.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us in. I parked my car down there at the little road across from the main road and walked up there, and they had it all taped off. There was helicopters flying around everywhere. There was search dogs. There was police officers and lights, and it was just craziness. And at that moment, I realized, wow, this is a big deal. This is not just a small beans, we can't find her. This is huge.
Right.
Yeah. Called the police. I didn't know what to expect. This never happened. I'm a rookie. I've never experienced anything like this before, so she was in panic mode.
And did she mention Don?
Probably, but I don't remember what she said about him.
Did Don call you?
No.
Okay. The week before this happened, were they here?
Especially with the kids and everything, they just seem to just blend right in with us, you know. Just in a brotherly, sisterly love kind of way.
Right.
Yeah. I don't actually think that they're members.
Right.
I don't think they ever joined as members.
Okay.
Well, I know that Dawn is Seventh-day Adventist, and I'm not sure about Candace.
What was the interaction between the children, mom and dad, the family, when Summer was just kind of being Summer?
Yeah. Mom and Dad were sitting over there listening to the sermon, and Summer was running around, and so I know she was here Mother's Day, and that I'm sure she probably was here after that, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look at my pictures because I take pictures all the time.
Okay.
So.
Let us.
The police.
And who's us?
It was me and David Dotson. Yeah, we just had to hang out with the police because there was no way for us to go up the driveway.
Okay.
They were just telling us how long that they'd been there, and I asked them if they'd had a good picture of her because I didn't know. And a couple of them said, "Yeah, I've seen a picture of her," and there was another couple that said, "We haven't seen a picture yet." And I'm like, "What? You haven't seen a picture of this little girl?" So I pulled up on my phone.
Which one of these is the picture that if you remember?
Actually, none of these are the ones that
I love these
them.
pictures.
I know. Oh, well, that was taken after Mother's Day was the first time I saw her with her haircut, so that was probably taken close to Mother's Day right there.
Okay.
Well, can I ask a difficult question?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is sometimes you got to ask obvious questions, but it's what I have to do.
So if anyone wants to pull the wreck, it's not exactly secret information. Yes, we do own a red truck, a red Tacoma truck. My husband bought it 2 weeks before my dad passed away. So it was about a month ago, less than a month ago, my husband bought this truck. So nobody needs to wonder if this truck is in any way related to the one that is involved in the Summerwells case, because we just got it. And we would have to be a special kind of stupid to purchase the truck that was the one that the police are looking for.
Do you know anything about the red truck?
Okay, so that red truck, I've been told, has been, they already talked to the person. And
it's been eliminated?
It's been eliminated, thank you for the word, yes.
Okay.
So that actually, I was going through these and I was Xing it out, and because I just don't think that we need to be looking for a red truck.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, right?
I know.
Why it's important to keep fresh information out there, because the investigation's going on, but they're so busy.
We do know that last year you guys pushed out some information about the red truck. I know that this is on here, but just so we can talk about it with you guys. Is that still something you're looking for? Do you still want people to submit tips, or is that over and we're just not looking for the red truck anymore?
I'm going to call on TBI Special Agent in charge, Derek Newport, just to talk about that and where that stands.
I would tell you yes, just to eliminate. We still don't have a good timeline of when that was observed.
We still don't have a good timeline of when that was observed.
The police were stopping the traffic there on the main road, the paved road, but then you could walk this way and then go up the driveway, and the driveway at the base of the driveway where it's real steep going up, that was all blocked off with yellow tape, and there was people there and like side-by-sides and officers and stuff there, and then there were officers out the main road. It was probably around 10 o'clock or so. They finally, said, well, go ahead and go. I guess they wanted us to wait until the dogs were done doing their sniffing. They didn't want to mess up the scent.
Made sense.
So they let us go up after that. Now, David had already been up there before I had, and I don't know the details about when or how, but I know that he was there before I got there and had already talked to the family. Okay. And by the time I got there, they had not allowed us to go back up.
The rumor.
My daughter's probably on the fucking streets right now somewhere. Nobody's listening to me. I know where she's at. She's in a fucking motel room somewhere with some fucking weirdo fucking some motherfucker trying to sell her for a little bit of crack cocaine. I know how it works. Somewhere pulled up in a fucking motel room. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes.
I believe that you have seen this.
I did not stand it when I was younger. Imagine someone taking your daughter hostage. Your beautiful daughter that you just got back, and they're playing games with your fucking head. Would you not want to kill them?
Yes, I would.
She was a tomboy. I shaved my head. She wanted to have her head shaved like me and the boys did.
She tried to shave her head.
She tried
in
to
the
shave
back
her head
and make it. I think you can see it in some of the pictures, and it was getting out of control. So we decided to shave her head off and let it grow back long, and she shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, and but it didn't bother her at this point. Well, I knew right away that she was abducted. I knew that right away, and that's what I told them from the beginning, but I'm sorry that they had to spend so many man hours in these woods and everything. I've seen them limping and everything else, and I feel for them. And we thank everybody who's trying so hard and praying so hard, and she's awesome young lady, and we just want her back. Date with and socialize with, so we don't know anything about, no red truck, or we hardly know many of our neighbors. I mean, because we just try to be around good people. I mean,
about us, but we love our children with everything we have. We've never went without, thanks to Summer's daddy and my husband. He's always provided for us and has worked as much as he could. That's my baby, and nobody would ever treat her like that as long as I was around, ever.
I think she really loved to be in church because she felt a lot of love there, and
when
women that were...
She come to that church, she went looking for Robin. That was her favorite person.
Any woman that was professional, that
was pretty,
yeah,
beautiful.
she looked up to those kind of women. She, you know, they were the word I'm looking for, I can't think of it, but she looked up to them. She could pull herself up on that swing, her full body weight with her 2 hands, and she could do that. None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
None of the other boys can do that, but she can.
Was she?
I just never expected for anyone to get a hold of my heart like she has, because I try to guard my heart as much as I can, but she holds my heart in her little hands, and I love her with all my heart. I mean, I'd do anything to have her back. If there's any way, if you can find it in your heart to please release her somehow, I don't know how you might do that. I mean, 'cause you're probably scared of going to prison for the rest of your life and everything else, I'm sure. But please find it in your heart, have mercy, and find a way of letting her go, and where we can get her back. And just please have mercy on her, and you know, and us, and her brothers. And she's such a loving, good spirit. Please, please don't hurt her. Please let her come home. That my biggest fear is, you know, her being tormented or locked in a dungeon or basement or something, because she loved to be outside all the time. That was her, unfortunately, her downfall. Because a lot of times the boys would be inside and we'd be like, "Where's Summer? Why'd you leave her out there alone? You know, go get Summer now." You know, and that's happened over and over again. And we'd come out and she would always be close by, but we was always coming up. She had to be outside. She was an outdoor person, you know, and I'm so afraid that she's locked away. She's such a loving heart and everything, and I'm afraid that she won't be able to, you know, locked away where she can't be outside or play with a puppy or anything, love nature, you know, and that's my greatest fear, that she's not able to do any of these things anymore, or that she could possibly, you know, I don't want to think she's dead, but it's a possibility.
Me and Candace know for a fact that Summer was abducted. We know that, but...
Can you share with me why you know for a fact, or how you know?
Well, the reason that I know is because I know my wife, and I know what kind of emotions and the heartbreak that she's been going through, and the way everything happened when she called me.
Have police given you any information on that, or anything pointing to that?
No.
That's unheard of.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson says they have found no evidence Summer was abducted.
Why is it our property is any different than any other property where kids are abducted? Why? What makes them think, oh, there's no way an abduction can happen here, but everywhere else it's probable, but not this property?
You know, the most important thing you've lost right now is your daughter, Mom.
Yeah.
Well,
It's your daughter.
Okay, even if my daughter comes back, I no longer have a job. I have to offer nobody no more. If my daughter's dead, there's a guaranteed spot in the resurrection. And that's a lot of goals. A lot of goals. If my daughter's dead, there's a guaranteed spot in the resurrection. And that's a lot of goals. A lot of goals.
Yeah, Summer will always be here with me, no matter what anybody says. When mom and sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. When mom and sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. When mom and sister went missing, I was in between Arkansas and Tennessee. I don't know all of what happened or what did happen, but I hope that they find her too and bring her home safely too.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, she disappeared without a trace. They haven't found anything, haven't found a body, nothing. And
Rosemary Bly is Candace Wells' sister. In light of recent information coming out, I thought we should go back and look at the details in this case. Rose was last seen in St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin on August 21st, 2009. She left her home in the 2300 block of River Road to travel 5 miles to Cushing, Wisconsin, to meet a cousin at a bar. She was driving a white 2001 Pontiac Grand Am with a Wisconsin license plate. Sometime that night, Rose contacted her husband and said she'd be home by midnight. She never arrived in Cushing, however, and has never been heard from again. Rose's car was found in a parking lot near a post office in Grantsburg, Wisconsin 5 days after her disappearance. The lot is normally used by semi-truck drivers to park their tractor trailers. The car was undamaged, there was no evidence of foul play, and the keys were missing. Grantsburg is about 30 miles from St. Croix and 15 miles from Cushing. Rose has family living there, and she graduated from Grantsburg High School. Rose left behind a husband and 2 daughters under the age of 2. She doesn't have any credit or debit cards, and she left home with very little money. Rose's husband filed for divorce 3 weeks after her disappearance, and sought a court order to prevent her from returning and taking the children. They had married in February 2009. Their relationship was troubled, and police were called to the home at least once to intervene in a domestic violence incident. He had previously filed for divorce in June 2009, but withdrew the filing after he and Rose reconciled. Rose's husband passed a polygraph, and he isn't considered a suspect in her disappearance. His divorce petition was granted in 2010, and he has sole custody of their daughters. Rose fell off a horse a week before her disappearance. She told her mother she was having headaches after the accident, and her mother advised her to see a doctor, but there's no evidence she ever did. Rose's mother speculated her daughter became disoriented due to her injury and wandered away. There's no evidence to support any theory, however. Rose's case remains unsolved. Candace Wells' ex-friend spoke about Rosemarie's case, and this information has been handed over to the authorities. It is not clear if and when authorities will go check at their old house in Wisconsin.
Candace has a sister that's been missing for about 10 years. One night, a couple nights when she was drunk, when it came around the anniversary for her sister's disappearance and her birthday, her mom was in tears all day long, all night long, and she kept looking at her mom. What's wrong? I said, you know what day it is. Oh. You ain't gonna find her alive. And I said, why wouldn't they? She goes, because the bitch is dead. I said, how do you know she's dead? And why would you call your sister a bitch? She goes, because I killed her. Who says that?
Allie, to be her daughter, because her daughter was dead. Her daughter, Rosemary Bly,
That's what they call her, Grandis.
Candace's sister,
Went missing.
went missing, and I know where that girl's buried because they told me a story one night that where they used to live, it was a cement driveway. Her kids were 3 and 4 and said, "Mommy's there, Mommy's there." Why didn't they ever?
Where would that be? Like, where was that at?
Wisconsin or whatever.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah,
That's probably
wherever.
why she's gone from Wisconsin. Kansas got really drunk one night and said, my sister was supposed to meet someone at a bar, her friend, and she never made it. That's
Those kids come here in the summer before Summer died.
Those kids come here in the summer before Summer died.
And he doesn't want anybody.
Yeah. Why would she allowed
criminal investigation?
The grandmother left state?
None of them are allowed.
Who?
I didn't know she wasn't allowed, but I remember she took off because she didn't want to answer questions because she's been through this.
But I'm trying to keep hope up. I'm trying to keep my prayers up and all that.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Can you touch her now?
No, I can't. I wish I could.
You can't even see her now.
Don't you think I don't wish I can?
I know you wish you can. Do you think Don wishes you can? You heard
everything he said.
About what he said.
I know you don't. I know you don't. But you heard what he said. How does that change your feelings about that, Candace? Knowing that's how he felt.
You know what? I have a whole lot of changed feelings. If someone was standing here right now in this kitchen and in this room, there'd be nobody that could stop me from running up and grabbing her and holding her and just loving on her every second that I could.
You ask, and when you talk to Don, does he show that sort of passion about his missing daughter? Does he care that much, or is it just about a lot of go?
Kinda. A little bit. Not much.
Not much. Not much at all.
If my daughter's dead, then the guaranteed spot for resurrection. And a lot of gold. A lot of gold.
There's so much, Candace, you probably missed out on.
You know, every night I lay here and I listen to music and stuff, and I'm like in a prayer kind of like, I'm like, Summer, where are you? How can I find you? Where can I come get you at? What can I do? And it fucking, it destroys me every night.
You're not in between. But I'm letting you know how I feel about the whole script.
And Josie.
So the boys.
And Josie. Wyatt. And Josie.
So the boys.
Yeah, the boys.
Okay, went to work with Dawn.
That's where Rock stuff is. She pulls up there in front of that mailbox.
Okay.
And so I dap her up like usual. She comes in. We're all sitting down. I ask her what happened to her grandma because she wouldn't tell me over the phone. She said that she hurt her knee because of kids. Where did she say she went on vacation for? Gatlinburg. She said she went to Gatlinburg for a little vacation with the kids, and the kids kept kicking her leg. And she has supposedly a plastic knee or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so they took her to the hospital.
Was at the hospital? Mm-hmm. And who's with her that day?
Just Summer.
Just Summer. Okay.
Not the entire day until we pick up the grandma.
Okay.
Not the entire day until we pick up the grandma. Okay.
Or 10 or...
No, just from your memory. Not from Mom's
I think
memory.
it was at least 10 because I was about it. And then she said, you want to go fishing Summer? I said, do you care if I come with? Because it's summer. And I treated her like a little sister.
Right.
And she said, you got to ask Allie.
Okay.
But she calls her Candy or Candace. And then she calls her Allie or Allison.
Okay.
If you guys had a message for Don Wells, what would it be?
You're gonna pay for what you did to not only your kids, but ours as well.
And what's the message, if you have a message for Candace Wells?
Same thing.
We're down here in the summertime parade. Because we almost hit Candace.
What do you mean?
With the car?
But they never had any pictures of.
Well, was she unattended or something?
Drunk. No, they were walking in the parade and she was walking from me. I haven't seen anything about them out here looking for that baby.
The night that...
What about the church they go to, that 7-day? Yeah, what about that 7-day Adventist
I don't
church?
know about that church. I don't know.
The night that she went missing, Candace called me up about...
So they weren't really holy
1 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
It seems like an act.
I said, Sherry, she's gone. I go,
it seems like an act.
What are you talking about, Candace? You're drunk. She goes...
So they weren't
Summer's
regular
gone.
parishioners at the
She's
church.
missing.
Went
She
once
walked
in
out
a
of the
while,
house.
but definitely
I
not
said,
regular.
what the hell?
She said she walked out of the house? Summer walked out of the house? Whoa, she didn't say somebody took her out of the house.
She said she walked out of the house.
She walked out of the house. That's what Candace told you that night at 1 in the morning. What else she said?
That was about it because I hung up on her.
Yeah. So she said Summer walked out of the house.
That was you? Yeah, she goes, well, I didn't she was downstairs in the basement, she opened up the door and just walked out.
Because I asked him when's on his birthday. That was
you.
Yeah. That's me. My statements will be heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Do you expect it to be end soon?
No.
No,
I don't
why?
know. They know where her body is, and it's. If they don't let anybody up on the property, then that means she's probably good to she's up there. And they're trying to cover up where the bones are gone too, where there's nothing, you know.
No, I know.
Do you think Don Wells went to work? Did he go to work that day?
Don't know. We don't know.
You don't know?
No, for sure.
She came here.
In the morning.
Picked up Hunter about 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
And these were her words. We're gonna go fishing. I want to take Summer fishing.
Not the boys.
Not the boys. No boys were with her.
Just the stupid grandmother.
Grandma's in the hospital because the boys were in Gatlinburg and the boys kicked her in her bad knee.
Oh, she has an iron knee or something. You know what I'm saying.
She had knee replacement. So they dropped Hunter back off here at 2:30. They're parked right in front of that telephone pole.
With this pole?
Yep, facing this way.
Facing which way?
So we got in the van after football practice. We went to the cookout. Was ordering everybody food. Got on my phone, and plain as day was the emergency child alert on Facebook from Hawkins County Emergency Services. I said, holy shit, she's really missing.
That's when you called me.
I called my mother. I said, check this. I said, Summer's missing.
And I said, no, you're bullshit.
I said, yeah, it's on Facebook. So then I hung up the phone with her.
Oh.
I called Candace.
Yeah.
She didn't answer. Came here. She called us back. No shed of tears, no nothing. I said, what's wrong? She goes, Summer's missing. I go, what do you mean?
Summer's gone.
Summer's gone. I said,
Yeah,
what do you mean
I
Summer's gone? Like, I started interrogating her. I said, what do you mean? I just seen you guys at 2:30 when you dropped Hunter off. What happened in between? Well, we came home and we planted flowers on the side of the house and Mom was in her trailer. Summer wanted a piece of candy, so she went into Mom's trailer. Mom gave her a piece of candy. Summer wanted to go into the house and play with the boys. So I watched her go into the house to play with the boys. I went in the camper to fix Mom's bandage on her knee.
And then she went back to the house.
She goes, I went back over to the house, asked the boys if they seen Summer. They said she was downstairs in the basement playing. I said, did you look in the basement? Yeah, I tore it apart. I said, was the door shut, locked? Was it open? Because that door always stayed shut and locked.
Yeah.
And there used to be a couch in front of it. She goes, she's gone. What do you mean she's gone?
What was she crying?
No. She didn't shed a tear.
No tear.
Not one tear.
No, she faced.
She wasn't hysterical. She was just calm.
She called me on the phone. They seen her face. She wasn't crying.
When they pulled up, yeah.
So
you
saw her. She did.
Yeah. Was she alive?
She was sleeping, but it was hot out that day.
She was sleeping.
They had the windows rolled up. It was hot out.
The windows were rolled up, and I wanted to give her a hug,
No
and she
air
said I couldn't give her a hug.
So right there,
Is that suspicious to you?
I think so.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you heard of secondary
I
drowning,
said I
right?
always hug
Yeah.
this baby. Whenever she heard
Whether
my
she's
name.
sleeping or not.
Secondary drowning? Which is what, like,
where you swallow
She'd
so
be
much
able to
water and then
run up
later
in my
on, if
house.
you don't get it all or something, I don't know.
She
So you-
had a lot of outside people that were, she was clinging onto.
Did Hunter say like anything was going on in the car? Like did you ask him?
He
Like
wouldn't
was
talk.
she alive? Was she awake?
He wasn't in the right state of mind when he came back, Ellie.
He wasn't talking. Like,
No.
I asked him how it was. He said fine. And then I didn't know anything about the alcohol at that time. His girlfriend's mom picked him up about 3:30, 4 o'clock. And when she came back with him, she goes, I got something to tell you. Hunter's got something to tell you. I'm like, what? He goes, Candace gave me alcohol.
In those puff.
That day.
Yes.
She said that he was like
He-
not himself.
He was not himself. I knew
was
something was
quiet.
wrong.
He did.
And he will not talk. He's scared shitless. Maybe they threatened him because I known them to threaten kids because they threatened my grandkids.
Later on that night, Hunter shut down, and I didn't even know anything. And he had texted his girlfriend something. Her mom called me. I spazzed. Hunter was not himself.
Like, three clothes back.
Oh my God! Even you're almost in tears.
And I said, "What's wrong?" He wouldn't talk to me. He wouldn't come out of it or nothing. He was just sitting there, rocking back and forth. My homegirl had to come, and we had all we could do to get him out of that house, out of his room, and sit him at this table. I had to call TBI back up. You think he was traumatized? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Something
definitely.
happened at that water hole that he saw.
I think he sobered up or whatever you want to call it and remembered something. Maybe she did drown there. Maybe she did.
He will not talk about it.
But he will not talk about it. He wasn't the same when he came back.
Bad in and of itself,
I'm sorry.
You know that.
I'm sorry.
And I get in trouble because
You said your leg hurt? I'm not too bad. Do what? It looks bad. Can you don't need an ambulance? No, I don't need a medical assistance. Okay. It's just a stuffed up place. Yes, I am. Get her name. What? Ma'am, are you still up? Yeah, I'm here. What's going on? Are you there? I just heard my daughter. Okay, just heard your daughter.
This road here in Hawkins County was where Summer Wells was last seen 1 week ago. It's also where her father, Donald Wells, was arrested back in October over a domestic assault incident. That incident led to her mother filing an order of protection against him the following day. Tonight, Summer's father tells us that he and his wife have put that incident behind them, and all they want is for their daughter to come home safe.
That's all we can hope for is for God to produce a miracle for all the Christian folks around here because there's so many people praying.
Authorities say Summer Wells' parents have cooperated during the investigation, but according to Hawkins County court documents, this is not the first time officers were dispatched to the home on Ben Hill Road. They were there on October 14th for a domestic assault. Summer's mom, Candace Bly, told officers Donald Wells came home drunk and saw someone else in the house and believed that Bly was cheating on him.
I was in Utah, so she was thinking one thing and I was thinking another, but once we got to talk and figure things out, we smoothed it all out. I mean, it's just we weren't on the same page, a lack of communication.
The following day, Bly filed an order of protection against Wells. In the order, she says Wells drinks and throws things and that he was mentally and physically abusive. She said, quote, "I am afraid for my children and myself."
Because we were fighting, of course, people are going to tell the police whatever to get their way. We worked it out. She's apologized to me.
4 days later, Bly asked for the charges to be dismissed. Wells pleaded guilty to possession of a handgun while under the influence and turned the weapon over to the sheriff's office. The domestic assault charges and unlawful possession of a handgun were dismissed.
She's went to the district attorneys. She even talked to the judge and told him that she made a serious mistake and and that's the end of it. She didn't get hurt, and I never hurt nobody.
After a full week of searching and still no sign of his little girl, Wells cherishes the last time he saw her.
The night before, she asked me to hold her hand where she could twirl. She loved to do that.
and that's the last time I really got to spend time with her.
As of now, no one has been named as a person of interest, and it's still unclear about what happened to the little girl. But her father and authorities say they aren't stopping until Summer comes home. In the Beach Creek community, Ansley Daniel.
Was that?
Like how far in between calls between you and her having that call when she's picking up prescriptions to she's calling you saying Summer's missing? Do you know how long?
Yeah, I honestly can't say, but I remember, the only thing that I can remember, it was thinking, well, I might as well just work late because they're busy doing other things and there's no point in me going home because I don't want to go home and sit there by myself. So I figured I'd just work late that day. And that's, yeah.
Okay. And why did Don call?
I have no idea. He just called. I don't even know if he was working at the time.
Okay.
But if he was working, he obviously wouldn't know that there was some dude looking at the little kids.
Well, the only thing I know is, I call her from time to time just to see what she's doing, and she said that she's taking care of some prescriptions or whatever. It seemed to me that it was later than that, but because I made up my mind, well, they're busy doing this and whatever, I might as well just stay late at work. So I was working late. But so they was at the lake, and then Hunter and I guess they went, she called and says, come by the house, and then she begged to take Hunter to the lake with them so they could swim a little bit. Yeah. Seen them videos, and then I took her back and they said everything was okay in that situation between them.
Yeah.
I took her back and they said everything was okay in that situation between them. I took her back and they said everything was okay in that situation between
Messaged
them.
me
Yeah. Which
and
situation?
said that you was at home in a 3 o'clock hour, and I have that as evidence. She did not want nobody to know you was at home.
All this, our house is up there on top. So all this is our problem. That's not true. How did she message you that if that's not the case?
Do you have...
I mean, why would she say so? I turned straight away in here. So I turned straight away in my life. Well, when there's an abduction, I mean, what else would you call it? Yeah. Disappearing. I don't understand that. But yeah, somebody was either hiding in the weeds there, waiting for the shade, either come in the basement. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet, they weren't 30 feet away when she got gone. But yeah, I mean, we weren't 30 feet, they weren't 30 feet away when she got gone. Yeah. I mean, maybe 40 at the most. Right. I don't know. Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name. Yeah, a lot of our neighbors heard, us screaming Summer's name. And so I think, I don't know, I don't know for sure because I wasn't there, but I've known him for years.
Looking into the church people because they were some of the last people around your daughter, Donald.
No, they weren't around her at all. We was at our house and nobody was here but me. Also, nobody was here but me. I wasn't here.
Well, when
It better that for some odd reason that I don't understand. My oldest boy, though, he'll stop out from time to time and say he misses his sister, stuff. But, your mind has a way of forgetting every now and then. I find myself doing it too. Every now and then but then it comes like flooding all back, of course, Yeah. I might get away from it for about 15, 20 seconds, but it'll all come back.
And he goes, yeah, but like I said before, you've been through hell. Me too. Most people cannot understand certain things unless they've been through hell. I never thought I'd be in this situation after all I've been through. God has a plan, I'm sure. As long as we trust him, he promises to work it out for good. I just don't know how I can possibly get over my daughter. I just don't see how. Never expected anything like her. now just gone. Why do you have to get over your daughter, though? Like, if a kidnapper has her and she's alive and someone just took her, why do you have to get over her?
Did you have anything to do with your daughter's disappearance?
Well, I'm at work all day, every day, you know. I love my daughter with all my heart, and I try to love everybody. And it's been a real experience, you know, me turning to YouTube for help and seeing the nature. I've never seen anything like this in my life, so it's been quite a lesson to me. I've never been on YouTube or Facebook or anything. I probably never will again if I can help it, but it's been quite an experience, and it's been very educational. You know, I've learned a lot.
So, yes or no to the question?
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, no.
Right? They haven't accused you of Candace or anything, right?
Guys, I heard
Man,
about
hey, you have to, I have 7 alibis.
What?
If not more. Baby, don't break my fucking door. Come on.
No,
I have 7 alibis. I have 7 alibis. Candace ain't going down. She's going down.
You were at work.
Candace ain't going down. She's going down.
You were at work.
Candace ain't going down. She's going down.
You were at work. Right?
Yep.
Yeah, did you see anything like,
No, not really. See, I got a piece of equipment part that come out there. I hollered that morning. I didn't recognize them, but later that day, or the next day when the FBI got it, Randy brought it to my attention. The guys he used to work with. They actually talked to him that morning. I was in the pickup truck. The mother, the mama, and son.
yeah, did you see anything like,
No, not really. See, I got a piece of equipment part that come out there. I hollered that morning. I didn't recognize them, but later that day, or the next day when the FBI got it, Randy brought it to my attention. The guys he used to work with. They actually talked to him that morning. I was in the pickup truck. The mother, the mama, and son.
So you saw some?
Well, she was in the truck. Randy said that she laid up in the back of the truck with her extended.
did she, the extended cab?
Yeah, I guess it was their truck.
Was that morning?
Yeah.
What that name? Did anybody see?
No, because where we're from Moore County area that way, they give us drive time. At that time, we was leaving 3:30 of the day. So we didn't know nothing about it until we come back to work the next morning.
You guys know of Fred Hill, Jamie Killian? Any of those names ring a bell? Dudley John? Well, do you know Don Wells or not? Okay. He's blaming. So these guys over here don't know him either.
No.
Yeah.
It was actually an outage that day. I worked the repair of the beard. He was one working over there mowing most of the day. I think it was like later part, like after lunch he was over there.
So your guys' work crew saw Summer the morning.
Yeah. I was over there at like 5. That's before you started, wasn't it? No, I worked that out. When he hit that guy work, that was the same day.
So
yeah, we was up the holler the day y'all went.
So why did they stop and talk to the?
We had the roadblock for a big piece of wood.
Oh, so but did they talk to the Randy? You said that
Randy. Randy spoke to him that morning.
And she was.
No, he's back in North Carolina working now.
Randy, what's his last name? Do you know? Do you think he would talk to me?
I can't know what Randy.
You all want Davey?
Yeah, Davy.
You're Wolf, but what's Wolf?
Wolf and Davy's pretty much the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, so a bunch of us from up around that way, Moretown. I live in Moretown.
Oh, do you?
I'm so we lost our contract in Jefferson City. I'm Paul Jr.
Paul Jr. Paul Jr.
Childress.
Oh, your name's Paul Childress? That's a common last name here, isn't it? From Tass.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know where Bates Station's at?
Yeah. I drive through Main Station every day to get here.
Okay. So there wasn't a lot of bombs. You guys park your equipment here at night or something? And all that.
Out here, no, it was pretty cool. Everybody wasn't in any conflict. The only thing that went on was
where's
right when I
Lawson
got out
Cemetery?
was the Afghanistan flight.
You haven't pulled up? Okay.
We had a few guys sitting over there. I know there are a couple of cemeteries up that way. I can't remember what name the bombs went off.
I went to that. That's why I was walking over there to check to see if that was about. And what's your name now?
Scott
Sanders. Yeah. Has threatened to kill Dawn. Because he brought his name up. Craziness. I mean, so.
We were down there past her house. I think she lives on the Ben Hill Road. We were down past it, and there's like a gravel entrance, and we had an incident there. Went and helped the lineman put the line back there.
Okay, so
and, they did send us in there, but it was just turning the trucks around.
Yeah.
I think maybe some other guys.
That driveway is ridiculous.
Where are you working at? Is that the one where that creek's right there, that big old dead tree? Yeah, we was working in there. I took the dead tree down.
Yeah, and their house was like.
Hey, Don come up there this morning. We come in after all that stuff happened. Talking about the president shit.
The day after
the day, we're talking about him being in prison and all that shit. I thought, boy, that's just something. Who does that? You know, got a kid missing. Why the hell would you be going to talk about stuff like that?
The next day, his hero is Donald Trump. So.
Yeah. Well, I know he was up there that morning when we got there.
Like super early, or
around probably 8:30.
Oh, he didn't go to work then. But
they actually got fired for tearing the line down, and this is his old truck and everything. I got his truck now. No, he transferred over to Charlotte.
They haven't accused you of Candace or anything, right? Guys, I heard.
Man, I got. Hey, yes, sir. I have 7 alibis.
What?
If not more. Baby, don't break my fucking door. Come on. Really?
Well, you were at work.
Come on. Don't break the fucking door.
Open it then.
You dumb bitch.
Oh, you just call me a dumb bitch?
You break my fucking door.
Yeah, fuck you.
You dumb motherfucker.
That's insane.
No,
I have 7 alibis. I have 7 alibis. Candace ain't going down. She's going down.
You were at work. Right?
Yep.
I'm gonna trade for one of them next.
Yep.
And they've always said you were at work.
Yep.
I knew a guy who took shower with the boys. I did know that. Okay. But I did not know that Tom took shower with Summer. That I didn't know. You would not have been cool with that? No, fuck no!
There's a creek up and down it.
Yeah, I mean, what is this creek called? The Beach Creek?
No, this is Walker's Ford.
Walker's Ford. But they all connect, right?
Well,
no.
The one.
What you're saying, she's not been seen since she is at this point?
Right there is, see that yellow sign right there?
Yeah.
So there's a video out there of a milk, her laying on milk jugs in the back of their truck.
I would check this creek right here. You never know about. They could have went behind that church and thrown her in that creek.
Yeah. So the church is around the corner. What's the name of that church?
Walker's Ford.
Walker's Ford. Yeah.
The creek goes right around that church right there. You can see it. You can get out there.
Has authorities? You live right there?
No, I live in the house
house right down here on the
Oh, okay. So has authorities ever came to you guys? Nobody.
I mean, if this was the last place if she was seen, I'd start at that creek right there myself too. I mean, you know, either I'm like everybody else, they think that crazy ass bunch has done something with them, but at the same time, if they've done something with her, they had to do something with the body.
Exactly.
But the creek would be the first thing I would be looking in on the creek banks, but we've had big rains.
Yeah, and it's been a year.
You know, you asked me about, but you know, there's a lot of low lives down in the basement.
Oh, is there?
That way, for you on down. There's a lot of them. I mean, strung out and stuff, but they're not that way to do it.
But the sheriff of this county would participate in about anything you done to him.
Yeah, and you guys haven't seen them do anything. And this is the route. I mean, their home is like literally 10 miles that way.
6 miles.
6 miles, so you know.
From that my house there to Bean Hill Road, 6 miles.
Yeah.
But
does she appear to be alive in the video? I mean, just laying on the milk jug?
Honestly, no. She's asleep.
They may have already killed her, and they if you ask me, they're crazier than hell anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you know them?
Well, no, but I mean,
you've heard of them.
I've met them.
Oh, you met who?
I know them.
We know about everybody around here.
See, like say, up in that, if you go past where their house, up their driveway.
Yeah.
Go on up, and there's a big old barn up there on the right.
Yeah.
And some people out, Merlin, Richard, his name's Richard.
I don't know.
He's got the house up behind the big barn.
I know there's a junkyard back there.
It's 2 driveways up.
Okay.
But that's where I was raised at.
Oh, really?
I've got land on the other side of the road.
Okay.
On the left.
Oh, on the Beach Creek on
Ben Hill
by
Road.
on Ben Hill Road. Okay.
I own, right up above.
Okay.
See, and I used to go down and place and hunt and go down and do this and that, and then
For the kids that run off by
I'd meet him.
is nonsense because the terrain's too rough for them to go anywhere.
Have you met Don?
Yeah, I bet Don. See, I'd stop talking to him at times.
Yeah.
You see him down there putting up a gate.
Yeah.
And this and that.
Yeah. Have you met Candace?
Yeah, I've seen her around, but I've never really talked to her.
What's your take on them?
They look inbred.
Look inbreds.
They look like brother and sister.
Interesting. Yeah, because I see this is Lone Star and Merle. And that video, again, it turns.
But
I'm talking to a press man.
They could have done anything. Like I said, if she looked like she was asleep in the back of that truck, I'd be searching them creek. Because that's the only place they could throw her out and nobody could see her, you know what I mean?
TBI's done searches in the wintertime, but when...
But, you know, like Terry was saying, it is so rough and growed up down in there that no kid is
that kid ain't going to wander off in that part of the country.
I mean, I grew up in that holler there, and it's rough. And I rode horses. That's what we rode horses in there all the time.
People wonder why you just turn your kids loose out in the country and places like that around here. Well, hell, it's too damn steep for them to go anywhere.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? It's sort of like turning them.
And why are you going to go into a house like that to kidnap when you don't know? You know, I mean,
it doesn't make sense.
No, that part's all.
Wasn't the little girl supposed to start school?
That's what the mother claimed. She told the media that she was enrolling her daughter into school.
Here, my theory. This is just my damn theory about it. I believe the 6 son of bitches were sexually assaulting her, and they were afraid she'd go to school and end up telling them, and they've done something to the little girl. That's much my theory. That's because they're that kind of sick. In school, they babble. I mean, hell, I've got grandkids. They talk. You wouldn't believe some of the shit mine tells me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's just a theory in my head. Sometimes that works out pretty good in a lot of people.
You know, just I hope.
Okay.
I hope she's found. You know, like.
I mean, it's a shame.
I've got about 4. I'm going to try to bring her to keep feathers on.
Like I say, the people down there, there's not been anybody down in there forever.
I thought, they had.
I mean, there's some low lives. But, yeah, they're pretty good.
You know anything about the Bernards?
They'd kill a man over a kid. I know them. I've run with them. I've rode horses. I grew up with them.
So you go.
No, there's none of that shit.
Yeah.
There's none of that. Hey, there's no kind of mafia down here on this creek. No war, nothing. Jody Sue. That's one of them local roads. I don't. But yeah, they're good people. George lives out here.
Yeah.
Is a fine retard for me. Swim real good. Polly's old, and stuff. And the girl she's got kids of her own, and I know it. And Andy, the boy, I've known him since he's been a little old boy. Pretty good boy. A little while, but you know what I mean. He ain't nothing. I mean, he wasn't. Or they wouldn't.
Yeah, because Jody Sue came out and said she heard a scream that day. And
Andy told me that.
Oh, Andy told you that? Did he really hear a scream? Or she did?
Said she did or something, and they did.
Yeah.
He told me that the other day.
Oh, so he's still talking about it? Like, people are still...
He stopped down here and wanted to know. I played on some vehicles and stuff, He was hunting a camper, and I've got a small one down here, but he was hunting a bigger camper.
Yeah.
And we was sitting in our talking, and he was talking about it.
I bet you they're just like hoping that she's found.
I mean, they've got kids, and like I say, both of them are good people.
Yeah.
She was raised good. The dad.
I did a report, and I emphasized that I don't think that Jody Sue or any of them are involved. It seems like Polly, the mother, is friends with Sheriff Lawson. Why would they be involved? Even though they live, even though they live across the street, we're not like Fred Hill.
That's a different story.
It's a different story.
Sam, we better go.
He's the worst little piece of shit.
Oh, is he? Fred Hill?
That's just him.
All right.
Not used to this much quietness. Right away. The kids running across the floor was the best feeling in my heart. And now there's no kids running across my floor. I am doing the best I can right now. But I'm praying to God and to everybody that, whoever has my summer, or our summer, my and Donnie's summer, bring her home and just let her come back to home where her mom and daddy loves her. And I have so much for her. I want her to come home so bad. This fall, I gave birth to 3 boys. 3 beautiful boys. And then summer come along. And she was the most beautiful, intelligent girl I've ever known in my life. And I miss her with everything I have. I don't have nothing, but I miss her with everything I have. And I don't like saying this, and I don't want to say this at all, but I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living and still in foster care, and because they're still here and still living and still in foster care, and still living and still living. I don't want to do that.
As far as what I did, I don't know if I checked it then or later, but I know I did go in there and look. But I'm not sure if it was right then, or I might have parked and walked in there and looked real quick. I just don't remember. But once I knew she was gone, I went to the top of the house and went up the driveway up there.
Gone from where?
Exactly.
The shed? The shed?
The shed.
to the person that did this, what do you think should happen to them?
They should be put away for the rest of their lives. I mean, they should be tormented, I think.
You know, or something, or somebody put in our car,
What do you think should happen?
I have to leave it to God, you know, and I know what prison's like, and I have mercy for anybody who's in prison, because you're lucky if you get out of there alive.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So would you want to see this person in prison?
I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No,
it just depends on all the circumstances, you know.
What if it was an accident?
Well, you know, that's different, you know. And accidents happen, you know.
Candace, I'm going to have to ask you some hard questions. I told you this. Did you do anything to Summer? No. Do you know what happened to Summer? No. Do you know who took Summer? No. Anybody in your family involved with this? Not that I'm aware of, no.
But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living. But I have to put her on the side and worry about the boys because they're still here and still living.
I don't know definitively if she's not alive. We don't know. She still could be alive. Somebody. Listen, the truth is out there. You know, I don't want to sound so cliche-ish, but it's out there. Somebody knows, and they're not talking. Okay, and eventually we'll get the truth. We'll find out what happened here. Was she abducted? Was she removed? Was she the victim of wildlife? Was she the victim of a crime within the family? And now this is all covering up what occurred. Eventually, the truth is going to come out. It always does. Maybe not in the time frame that we would like it to come out, but eventually it'll get out, and we'll know the truth.
Yeah. We get specific information about a specific location, building, what have you. We will coordinate with each other to go take a look at that location. What made it hard back in the summer is obviously the foliage. That's why you saw the two searches that were when the leaves were on the ground, so that we could use air assets and that you could actually see more of what's on the ground at the time. People say, well, leaves, you get moving things around enough, you'll see what you're looking for.
You get moving things around enough, you'll see what you're looking for.
In the past, you said that there's no evidence that there was an abduction. Does that still stand?
It still stands. Thank you guys for being here. I just want to point out one more thing. This case is not cold. We get asked that a lot. It's not. We're talking to the sheriff constantly. We all work together as one team, and we're determined to find answers. Thank you for coming.
I'm going to do what I got to do for me and my boys and my kids.
Those kids come here in the summer before Summer died.
The problem is Don Wells, Candace Wells, knows what happened to Summer Wells.
We will continue to work with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, TBI, and FBI until we find Summer Wells. We are all one team, and we will not quit until we find Summer Wells.
And we're not done yet, because like I told you from day one, it's about finding Summer. That's the number one goal. But we're not going to stop. We're going to find Summer.
This case is not cold. We get asked that a lot. It's not. We're talking to the sheriff constantly. We all work together as one team, and we're determined to find answers. Thank you for coming.
Oh, my child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. All your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good. I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight.
What?